What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here for another Tottenham update. We're here with Brian Daigle once again. If you want to check out our brand new website, WeAreTottenhamTV.co.uk, the link is in the description below, where you get your latest written content surrounding everything to do with Tottenham Hotspur. But Brian, how are we doing today, my bro?
We are doing very, very good, my brother. How about yourself?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. We've got quite a bit to get through in terms of a Tottenham update, and we're going to start off with Jim Ratcliffe and his potential well, it looks as though it is getting over the line, 25% stake that he's going to be acquiring of Manchester United. And Matt Law has given us an article, and you cast your mind back to December 2022. Spurs signed a multi-year deal with INEOS as an official 4x4 vehicle partner, and they are obviously Jim Ratcliffe's company, and he says INEOS will retain its prominent partnership at Tottenham despite Sir Jim Ratcliffe closing in on a 25% stake at Manchester United. Spurs players have also featured in corporate videos promoting the vehicle, which boosts funds available for Daniel Levy. So even though that he is going to have a prominent stake in Manchester United and control apparently the footballing side of the club, they're still going to be sponsoring Tottenham Hotspur. It's a very weird one, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't actually see with the Premier League rules where they've got to have like the chairman go through the assessment that they can run, the proper assessment. You've got to think that this is a conflict of interest, but as a Spurs fan, bring it on for us. I mean, you're going to own part of Manchester United, but we're going to still get loads of money coming in because of the deals that we have with you. Brilliant for us. As a Manchester United fan, I'll be having huge question marks over how this is allowed and potentially strengthening a big rival by continuing a partnership with Tottenham Hotspur. Listen, it's win-win for us, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much of a win it is for Jim Ratcliffe going to Manchester United, but for his company to carrying on sponsor Spurs and to bring the money to Tottenham Hotspur, I just think it's a very strange and peculiar situation that probably we haven't seen in the Premier League before.
Yeah, I mean, well, the other thing is a massive, huge plus for Tottenham. You've got to look into this. When you look at Manchester United, we are talking about one of, if not the biggest club in the world, especially when it comes to marketability and being world renowned. So that again is going to, if they are associated with Manchester United, that's going to push Jim Ratcliffe's company to out even a lot further than what Tottenham Hotspur can currently do. So that's going to bring even more money in. Mate, it's so strange. I don't think it's ever been done in the Premiership, like you said. But for once, it's a very, very positive thing for Tottenham Hotspur, because obviously it's going to generate a lot of attention to his company and hopefully sales, and sales lead to money, and money leads to thank you very much.
Well, there you have it. That's that situation. But regarding the Manchester United sale to Jim Ratcliffe, or the 25% anyway, that has changed things in the light of Sheikh Jassim, as Ben Jacobs says that Sheikh Jassim is actually not currently considering buying another club, despite rumours about him being interested in Tottenham. There have been no talks between the 9-2 Foundation and any other club. Qatari Sports Investment did hold exploratory talks with Spurs in January over a minority investment. However, nothing progressed and any deal is unlikely to be revived. And Colin Miller of The Mirror says that Sheikh Jassim has withdrawn from the race to take over at Manchester United, and the Qatari businessman could now reinvigorate his interest in Tottenham Hotspur. But I believe that probably came before the Ben Jacobs news. So it doesn't look like that QSI and Sheikh Jassim will be looking at trying to buy Spurs or having a stake in Spurs. But I guess that's the situation at the moment, but we don't really know the truth or what's going on behind the scenes. So I guess we'll have to wait and see for more news to come out later on in the later months.
Yeah, I think all I can say on this at the moment is the way things are going, and the way obviously the feelings are towards our board by a percentage of this football club, or our football club, is any club that's up for sale, if that particular ownership or proposition does not get taken up by whatever club it may be, the media and everyone are just putting two and two together and saying, right, well, Spurs apparently up, I wouldn't say up for sale, but are, if the right offer comes in, then they're available. I think any foul bid for any club in the Premier League, if it doesn't go through, the media will naturally put two and two together and this time come up with 386. And I think it's a non-starter. But that's where we are, isn't it, Ben? At Tottenham Hotspur right now, if a bid gets fouled from another club, Tottenham Hotspur available, maybe we're going to go for them because we want to be in football. And that's I think that's what we're going to have to deal with for the foreseeable.
Yeah, I completely agree. But let's move on to the next update, and that is regarding Harry Kane. Sammy Mockbell says today that Harry Kane has bid his personal farewells to his former Tottenham colleagues at Hotspur Way earlier today, ahead of returning to Germany after the England-Italy game tonight. And it's the first time Harry Kane has had the chance to see his ex-colleague in person since leaving for Bayern Munich. We all heard the news about he wasn't allowed back in the training ground, wasn't allowed to collect his stuff in the box after that deal was done with Bayern Munich. But it's just great to see that finally, he got to say his goodbyes to people that he's been working with his whole life.
Yeah, I mean, he probably, for the first time ever, he probably woke up with a bit of nerves walking into the training ground, thinking, "Oh my God, how's this going to be? How weird it? Are people going to be there that want to see me? Are people that don't want to see me going to be around?" But yeah, listen, the way that we said that he can't go to the training ground, can't do this, can't do that, was a little bit childish. Let the man say his goodbyes, and then it's all done and dusted. It's all done and dusted. Move on. We've all moved on now. It's enough time talking about him. He gets to say his goodbyes, and then fine. Hopefully, we get to say goodbye to ever talking about Harry Kane, his move, or anything that has gone with it, because it's done now. And goodbye, Harry.
Yeah. So that has closed the chapter in the book for Harry Kane for Tottenham Hotspur. He finally got to say his goodbyes. But now let's talk about the internationals and Spurs players that did play last night for their international countries. We're actually going to talk about the Belgium-Sweden game up first. And before we talk about what happened in the game, because they only actually played 45 minutes yesterday, because before the game, an absolutely disgusting and heartbreaking thing happened where essentially a terrorist shot fans yesterday, Swedish fans, before the game, and it's an absolutely tragic. I just can't believe we're still talking about stuff like this. You know, you heard about what happened in France a few days ago. Now this is happening in Belgium. Swedish fans were absolutely disgustingly slaughtered and killed, shot down. And the players found out about this at half-time in the game and refused to come out. And, you know, I think the UEFA officials, they didn't call off the game. It was down to the players and them refusing to come out. So I commend the players for refusing to come out on that. Dejan Kulusevski did play 45 minutes in the game. Not sure what happened in the game. It was just marred by an absolutely disgusting and atrocious thing to happen at a football game or in any walk of life, to be honest.
Exactly. I echo what you said. What happened last night was I got messaged about it when it happened. I just couldn't believe what I was hearing. We always say, and this goes for all walks of life, no one should go to a football match and not come home. We know football has this hooliganism and tribalism, but this is just a horrible thing to have heard about, a horrible thing to have happened. Thoughts, prayers and condolences go out to the family and friends of the people that unfortunately won't be going home. And like you said, this happened, obviously, we happened with France a few years ago, an international match where outside the ground things were going on. It's just awful. It's just awful. And let's hope it's not repeated.
Yeah, and obviously, please, everyone watching, join me and Brian in sending our thoughts, condolences to everyone involved in what was an absolutely shocking and horrific event last night out in Belgium. Moving on to the Greece-Netherlands game, an absolutely crazy game, to be honest, for a must-win for Netherlands and a must-not-lose for Greece. Netherlands they missed a penalty in the first half without Weghorst, and you're thinking, is this goal going to come? Didn't seem like it was going to come. They get another penalty right at the end, and Virgil van Dijk says, no, forget this, I'm stepping up this time, and he slots it away. Netherlands win 1-0, and it was a vital 3 points for them. But in terms of how it relates to Spurs, Mickey van der Ven came on for the final 15 minutes for his second cap for Netherlands. 1 clearance, 2 tackles, 2 out of his 3 ground duels, 9 out of his 10 passes were successful, but that one that wasn't successful actually did lead to a big chance for Greece, and he got let off the hook massively. You saw Virgil van Dijk was going mad at Mickey van der Ven. It was a shocking pass, to be honest, and it could have been detrimental to Greece, but luckily for him it wasn't, and Netherlands go second in the group, and it looks like they're very likely to qualify now.
So thank God that everything is smiling down for Mickey, that even when he made a mistake, it wasn't, and that would have been an awful thing in your second game to come on. And like you said, if this had been a must-win for Holland and they didn't because of a Mickey van der Ven, it reminds me back in the day when David Ginola cost France getting to a World Cup. Obviously, Mickey van der Ven, they've got more games to try and qualify, but apart from that pass, seems like he had another comfortable showing. Apart from that one, obviously catastrophic, that could have been major issues. And it's another cap for our young Dutchman.
Yeah, absolutely. Next up is South Korea 6, Vietnam 0. That happened. That was 12 o'clock kickoff today. Heung-min Son did play the 90 minutes. He got 1 goal, 1 assist. But that didn't come without worry, because there were many images circling around the internet of Sonny struggling, looking like he was struggling when coming off. There were moments in the game when he looked like he was struggling with his injury. With 10 minutes to go, he was like kind of crouched down on the pitch holding his groins. After he scored, he was bundled over and it looked like he was suffering for it. So he did go down quite a number of times in this game, which looked like an injury. And to my absolute despair, Jurgen Klinsmann kept him on for the whole 90 minutes, which was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, Ben, what goal did Son score? Was it the first, the second, the third?
No, it was in the second half. I think it was the fourth.
Okay, so
fourth or the
first
fifth.
of all, so for someone like Son, I like I said to you before when we were talking, spoke to a lot of people that follow South Korea and in the Far East and said, really don't want him. I'd rather he play Tunisia, not Vietnam, because Vietnam are a very, very physical team, and obviously we don't want to risk it. Jurgen, if you're 4-0 up or 3-0 up at half time? Why keep? I'd understand if it was 0-0 and you need to get the job done. When you go hit 3-0, 4-0, 5-0,
it's a friendly, by the way.
Exactly, it's like off you come, off you pop, go relax. And I'm not just saying that because obviously Klinsmann was Spurs. You would think if your star man was carrying a knock, and the job was done, that's when you want to rest your guy to risk it. He didn't. Let's just hope that it was just, obviously he's going to feel discomfort with carrying a knock. Let's just hope it hasn't flared up. Let's get him home now and let the Spurs team assess him.
Yeah, he did look in visible pain, like he has done at a few previous Spurs games. We do have a quote from Sonny as well from after the game, and he says, "I discussed with the gaffer Klinsmann and said I will play the game, as I cannot forgive myself if I don't play for Korean national team in front of the Korean fans when I already returned to Korea." So yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem with him playing, but why keep him on for the 90 minutes when you can see his invisible pain? Just makes no sense.
Exactly, but especially again, like I said, it's a friendly. It's a friendly. Yeah, I completely get Son. He's flown a long way, and it's not like us flying to Italy or something. This is a long trip, and he is very, very patriotic. But like you said, was there a need for 90 minutes against a friendly that you're winning, whatever the score could have been, where you could have taken him off? That part I just don't get. But it's done. We know he's coming home now. And let's just hope he's good to go on Monday. It's also a good thing, Ben. I'm actually delighted for once coming back from the international break that we are Monday, because all the players come back and they've got that weekend to settle back home, as opposed to coming back late on a Thursday or whatever it may be and then straight into a game. So that Monday kickoff may have helped us.
Yeah, I agree. And just before we get into the next one, actually, Senegal actually played Cameroon last night as well. Senegal won 1-0. The game was played in France, and Pape Matar played for 69 minutes as well. But let's get into the internationals for the rest of the international break. So tonight, you've got Denmark away to San Marino in a qualifier where Pierre-Emile Højbjerg should be playing. England face Italy in a big game in that group where Madison, Udogie and Vicario are both in the squads. Brazil play Uruguay at 1 in the morning, where Richarlison is actually, apparently there are rumours that Richarlison is actually going to be dropped for this game with Gabriel Jesus coming and starting for Brazil. Have to wait and see tonight to see the lineups. And at 3 in the morning, Argentina play Peru in a World Cup qualifier where Lo Celso and Cuti Romero are in the squads as well. So that brings an end to the Tottenham update. Brian, thank you very much for joining me today. Everyone, do and go and subscribe to Tottenham on Tour, and also check out our website WeAreTottenhamTV.co.uk. Thank you everyone for joining. Like, subscribe and comment, and as always, come on you Spurs.
Come on you Spurs.